Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Ask Enki. Today we're taking a look at AutoRemesher, and AutoRemesher is made available by Hookzingi. Hookzingi is the very same creator of Dust 3D, which is something that we've covered on the channel some time ago. Dust 3D is this beautiful yet simple tool that you can use to create 3D models by using nodes, and this works more like what you've got with meatballs. And he has just put together AutoRemesher, and AutoRemesher is a cross-platform automatic rectangular remeshing tool that simply converts high-poly meshes into clean rectangular-based topologies. And today we're simply going to take a look at this and also compare it with Blender. And something that just happened before we wrapped up the video is we did see a nice cool nugget that I think Blender artists would love, which is in form of an add-on that communicates with AutoRemesher. And for those who like to get this, all you need to do is go over to the link in the description. They'll bring you right here where you can read up on this. Now, for those who like to compile this by themselves, of course, there are ways for you to simply clone the repository, build the CMake, and compile this for both Windows, Mac, and also Linux. But for those who like to just download these and get started with it, if you click on the releases, this is where things get interesting. Just in case it sounds familiar, it's possible that you've heard about this tool before because this tool has gone through years of iteration. Initially, this tool actually started out with a very unstable version. Then we got the Alpha 3. And then progressed to Alpha 4, then they got to Beta 1, then we've got Beta 2, and also Beta 3 before this current final release that we have here. And with this release, they've relicensed from the GPL version 3 to MIT. They've also made some improvements, added adaptivity parameters, the sharp edge parameter, the smooth normal parameter, replaced density with target quads parameter, added a command line interface, refined the main window theme and graphic widgets, and also replaced the app icon. And with that said, we're simply going to go ahead and pop this open and take a look at how you can get started with it. Now, the models that we're going to be using are coming from Sketchfab, as we've actually gone ahead to take a look at some of these models and download them just to do a bit of comparison of how things work. So with that said, we're simply going to go back here and start exploring this particular tool. Now, first things first, how you get started with this is as simple as clicking on open, locating the model that you want. In this case, we'll simply start with the octopus. That looks a bit more complex, so we can click on open and get that in. And that is basically all you do. You click on open, you bring that in, and automatically it does the retopology for you. Quick, easy, and simple. And just like that, you've got this nice retopoed octopus. Now, the reason why we get started with octopus is because it's pretty complex. It's got a lot of points and motions to it. So you can see that from here. And the settings that you have with these ones is also very nice. So now that this has been retopologized, right here you can see that we've got the quads set to 13,000, the non-quads set to 800, the vertices 14,000. Right here, we can choose to do the smoothing of normals. We can increase the targeted quads if we want, and we can also play with the edge scaling. So if we crank this up about something like so, and click on regenerate, this is also going to go ahead, reprocess this entire thing, and regenerate it. Now you get to see the progress bar from this green bar that actually travels right here at the top. And once this is done, you do have yourself a nice looking octopus. So we've got that done. We can now go ahead and click on save. And from here, we can save these back as an OBJ file. Now it's worth mentioning that you can only import and also export as OBJ. And once we have our file exported, we can actually go ahead and drag and drop that right inside of Blender. And once we bring this in, just go ahead and scale this down and you can see things for what they are. Let's see what the wireframe looks like. Actually, let's see the wireframe against the solid. And things looks pretty nice. Of course, there are certain parts that you might have to go in and put in a bit of eye right there. But you've got the major part of what you're trying to remesh done. So we can have that selected, we can shade smooth this, and we can also choose to subdivide this if we want. And this is just totally up to you and what you're trying to create with it. Now, with this said, let's actually go ahead and take a look at some other examples. So we're simply going to click on open and go over to where we've got our 3D models and select the rhinoceros and click on open to see this. And like we mentioned earlier, once you open these up, these processes the whole 3D mesh and does a quick retopology. And in this case, this is what we have. So again, this tells you the number of quads that you've got, the non-quads, and also the number of vertices. This doesn't look so bad, but could be better. So you can increase the target count if you want, and just like we showed off in the previous one, you can do all of that. So this is the basic result that you get with this one. If we go ahead and open one more time, say maybe yes, and we take a look at the Aphrodite 3D model, click on open, let's actually see what we get with this one. And with this, we can also see what we have. So something that we missed talking about is how you navigate with this. So for you to be able to navigate, if you hold down Alt with your left mouse button, you can orbit. You can just roll your mouse in and out to zoom in and out. And if you hold down Shift, you'll be able to pan. Shift with your middle mouse is what you use for panning. Again, we can go ahead and crank up the number. Maybe we like to make things a bit better. We can smoothen the normal if we want. We can change the sharp edges and click on regenerate, and this is also going to go through, consider all the parameters that we just made changes to, and regenerate. So this is a very simple to use tool for those who want quick retopology and you just need a simple tool that handles all of that. And like we demoed, once this is done processing, like this one, we can ship this over to any of the DCC tools that we like to work with and continue working with it. So it is just this quick tool that you can use. Of course, this is not completely perfect, but it gets most of the job done. So with this said, if we go ahead and simply save this out, bring this into Blender, I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that out, move this over to a side so that we can do a quick comparison. Now, this is what we did remesh, and this is the unremeshed one. So you could see that I've got more details on this one as against this one. Now, what we'd like to do is to make a copy and then use the internal Blender remeshing tool to see what we can get out of it. I'll start off by simply using the click on the QuadriFlow, which is now available with Blender. I like to preserve the boundaries. Possibly, let's just crank things up to about 50,000. Maybe we can start off with that. Click on Remesh and allow this to do its work. And once this is done, we can now choose to compare these two. You can see what the comparison looks like. Now, it's safe to say that when it comes to Blender, even though we did put the same 50,000 that we started off with AutoRemesh, Blender did take a bit more time compared to what we have with AutoRemesh. On the other hand, it is also quite interesting to see that AutoRemesh seems to have more details compared to what we have with Blender. For sure, if you want to keep more details with Blender, you can go ahead and crank up the size of your target. And so we're simply going to go back and forth and take a look at the size of the target that we have with the AutoRemesher versus the size of the target that we have with Blender, and we're going to simply input that. Now with AutoRemesh, because this tool is built for that lightweight remeshing, it sort of did not use up all of that target point, but simply used the available ones that was needed to give us what we want. But for Blender, the case is not the same because most of the times Blender would simply go ahead and use up all of that, and this might also take some time. So I'm just going to put the time right here so that you can see what the time did take for the model that we have on the left versus the time it took for the model on the right. And another thing to keep in mind is when we did tell Blender that we wanted a specific number, it did force itself to get that specific number. On the other hand, what we got overall with this other one was about 30,000. So it actually knew that this was the target, but it didn't get up to that target. It got to 30,000, and it did take a lesser time for it to get there. So these are some of the comparisons just to keep in mind. You can see where this is headed, and my personal recommendation in this case would be if you've got stuff that you just want a nice quick Retopo tool that can do a bit of groundwork before you proceed with doing your topology with other tools and maybe add-ons, I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and explore the AutoRemesher. But if you want to be right inside of Blender and you're not on a tight time budget and you like to go back and forth to check how things work, then you can definitely work with Blender. However way you choose, these are tools that are here to get you going. Do they crash? Yes, they do. In several instances, we've got crashes with Blender trying to do the QuadriFlow, and we've also got crashes with AutoRemesh as well. And while we're making the video, we did get a cool update about the AutoRemesher, as there's now an AutoRemesher bridge for Blender. And this is good news because it now means that you can have the very same remeshing capability that AutoRemesher provides right inside of Blender. So just in case you need this, you can actually go over and take a look at this. And Reflex has actually made this one possible. I'm going to link this one as well in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. And that brings us to talking about how you can work with it. So for you to get this working is pretty easy. Once you download it, which you can download for free, you can drag and drop right inside of your Blender, click on OK to have that installed. Then you have to go over to Edit, go over to Preference, go over to your add-on section, click right here, and make sure that you've got the URL of your AutoRemesher plugged in here. It is very necessary that you do that. If you don't do that, this tool is not going to work. There's also a download button that can lead you to finding the next or the most updated version of the AutoRemesher. And once you're putting this in, make sure you put it all the way to the exe file. So once you have that ready, click on the burger menu, save your preference, close the window, and then bring in any 3D model of choice and test it out. So in this case, we're simply going to bring in our octopus. I think that's a very interesting model. Let's bring that in. We can see what the wireframe looks like. Okay, I'm just going to go back to solid so you guys can see that. Tap in on the keyboard, go over to the Remesher, same configuration, the very same configuration that we have with the AutoRemesher. All of these, most of them you can't really see, all of that, you now have them inside of Blender. So our typical target count is 50,000, so we can set that as it is, and then we can click on AutoRemesh Active Mesh. So this is going to use the AutoRemesher tool access and do that. This beautiful, cool add-on is saving you that time of opening AutoRemesher, doing the auto-remeshing, exporting that out of AutoRemesher, and bringing that right inside of Blender. And this is one of the beautiful things with add-ons that can communicate with external tools. So with this now, you have this cool one. So we can actually go ahead and take a look at the wireframe so you can see that. And in this case, you can do everything right inside of Blender. You no longer need to go back and forth to do it. Now, for those who don't work with Blender, of course, you can simply go ahead and do it the way we just demonstrated earlier. But for what it is, this is interesting. And this update just happened while we're about to wrap up the video. And it is worth mentioning to you guys so that you guys can go ahead and check this one out and work with it. So this is it. For those who like to work with this, or potentially you're looking for add-ons that you can use alongside this to do your nice, cool, clean retopology, I'm going to link these ones in the description, so do well to check them out. Tell me what you guys think about these ones in the comment section. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.